is a necessity. So thank you for all the work that you do on making sure that, again, we're educated and that there is movement in the right direction to stop this war on trafficking of human beings.
One other thing about sexual exploitation, you can't limit it to just a sex act in a sense of, prostitution, because you also have pornography.
Right.
You also have exotic dancing.
Right.
So don't limit yourself or be closed-minded to think that it's just a single act of forcing someone to have sex with someone else.
Right.
Know what you're getting into, know what the different levels are, because it's broader than that scope of thinking or that view of, she's a prostitute. What child or what young lady do you know would openly agree to prostituting her body? Well, and we all know, under the age of 16 or under the age of 18, you're not of age to consent.
Right.
So, you think she openly consented? She wants to?
No.
So there's a whole lot more going on here than people realize. So then you have to also look at, who do you charge for what? Do you just charge this female for prostitution? Do you charge this person that purchased her? Do you charge the person that's marketing her?
So you're saying, which it makes sense, this is a big business.
Absolutely.
It's a big business.
Billions
Lots
of dollars.
of profit in human trafficking.
Yes, ma'am.
Billions of dollars. That's traumatic in itself, that we're profiting off of the harm of human beings.
And I want those that are watching and listening to know that we're not talking about something that is not tangible, that is far from here. We're talking about in Kentucky, we're talking about in Louisville, where we are sitting right now. We're talking about all over the state of Kentucky and all over the United States
as well. Yes.
We had a viewer that just commented that she knows someone personally that was kidnapped
here
in Louisville. So I want everybody that's listening to know that what we're talking about, is a heavy subject, but it is also a call to action, and this is why you have to be educated on that. I was reading about a young guy that went looking for his sister because she was snatched, and he followed her and found them at a gas station, and she was in that back seat of the car, drugged up, and he had to stay and fight for his sister from those men, not knowing where else she would go.
Right.
I also have a friend that was snatched in Chicago when she was walking home from Bible study, and he didn't get but down the alley with her because she fought
back.
But here's the thing. The act of being taken or snatched or kidnapped is traumatic within itself, whether anything happens to you after that or not. It is the thought that somebody at any time could take you or your children away, and nobody would see you.
You've been violated at just the thought of that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I am glad that Miss Bunny is here to let us know. So can you talk to us about the high times? I know Derby is one of them. But just over the state, the different events that we discussed that more people are taking.
Right. In this state, and just wherever you live, like where does this happen?
Well, just think about sporting events or any events that go on in your community, large events that go on in your community, because it can occur anywhere.
Right.
You have local fairs and community festivals. You have farm machinery show here in Louisville. As you said, the Derby.
The Derby is a big one, right?
Right. So
absolutely.
Just think about, you're not ever going to be able to look at a predator and know that they're a predator.
You're
just like you
right.
can't look at a pedophile or a rapist and know that that's who they are.
Right.
You don't know what you're getting into. But if you educate yourself and you educate your children and you educate those around you, and think about that buddy system too. Stick together when you go out to these events. Now, granted, young children, even the ages that we're talking about, 12 to 17, they should not be drinking.
Right.
But even I don't care if you're 18 and college age, And if you're drinking and things like that, look out for one another.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if you leave your friend, you don't know what's happened to that friend. You know, don't take that for granted that, just let them sleep it off. Don't take it for granted because you just don't know.
Absolutely.
That is so true. And it used to be funny because people would talk about us as women because we go to the bathroom together when we're out and we go here. But even me being prior service, we had a buddy system. It was just because somebody has to be held accountable.
Absolutely.
I am always watching out for my friends, and I would love for someone to always be watching out for me. It's just the safety of whether we're going to apply lipstick or not. We're just going together as a group.
Absolutely.
So that everybody, is safe. And even more so.
And teaching our children that as well, because in those teenage years, they think that they are conquerors and can get through anything. They still need to know that whatever they're doing, they need to make sure that someone is with them, that they have a friend that is looking out for them no matter what. At the local football game, don't just go walking out by yourself, because even though it's on a local level and it is smaller than the NBA game, those people can be anywhere. They can be in your local Walmart store.
This is true.
I read somewhere recently, and it may have been something through the Shared Hope Network, but it was a statement that said, where your children play, your predators prey.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
It's just something very touching, because if you look at the grand scheme of things and you think about it, let's think about the internet, for instance.
Yes.
Your kids are on there playing games. They have the game that mostly the guys play, I think. Fortnite, stuff like that. So, you get these little chat boxes going. Kids don't realize that just any person, anybody could be on there. And innocent conversation, and before you know it, you've revealed who you are, where you're at, and how old you are.
Right.
You've given a predator your information and not even
my
realized
goodness.
it.
Wow.
And then you have your parents, some that maybe don't monitor their kids on their games and on the internet and on the different apps that are available. As a DARE officer, a previous DARE officer, and I would kind of poll my students periodically and ask, how many of you take your phones into your bedroom at night? How many of your parents will monitor your usage and what you're doing? And it was amazing to me how many parents did not monitor their children. And then I asked them, how many of you have ever snuck out of your home? So I'm looking at 5th graders, so what are we looking at? 10, 11, 12 years old.
What?
It's like, how many of you have snuck out? And it was amazing.
What was the answer?
Oh, there were several. There were several.
Oh my goodness.
So then, I'm thinking, rural community, where do you go? What do you do? And then it's like, what's beyond the darkness? Because do you know? And what could you possibly be doing when you're sneaking out? You're 10. Where are you going? What are you doing? Because you're not thinking past that tree line. You're not thinking past whatever it is you've got on your mind. You're not thinking about what's around you.
Right.
But somebody may have noticed your behavior or your routine or whatever, and before you know it, you don't know. And it's just a means to make aware.
Right. And speaking of that, tell us, what do you do if you suspect human trafficking, or if you feel like you know a victim of human trafficking, and what are some safety tips about human trafficking as we come to a close of this absolutely magnificent day of teaching and education about something so important to our lives and our safety?
Okay, obviously this topic is very broad and very, very big. So that's why it's my job, and it's become such a passion to me to want to educate. There is so much more. So let me give you the number for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Is 1-800-843-5678. And the National Human Trafficking Center is 1-888-373-7888. So if you suspect something, try either one of those numbers, and if all else fails, contact your local law enforcement.
Wonderful. Okay, well, thank you so much, Bonnie, for being here. We hope that you all have learned something valuable to keep you safe, to keep your families safe. Please share this video, share this whole information about what you've learned today. You can reach out to us if you want more information. So we want you to know that we are more than thankful for you sharing this moment with us. So please join us also next Sunday at 12 noon at 106.3 or www.kyheartmedia.com. You can check us out on Facebook at Glow Get It, as well as we encourage others to also email us, glowgetit.life@gmail.com. Ray, it's time to bring this episode to a close. Bonnie, we thank you. And remember, you are more than enough. So make up your mind. Are you going to be good or unforgettable? I'm your host, Gwendolyn B.
And I am your host, Raeshonda J.
And this is your weekly dose of Glow Get It.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys for joining in. We appreciate you.